Most of the individuals that were fighting in Syria were, of course, ISIS members, Al Qaeda members, proxy terrorist groups have assembled themselves under the guise of rebels, right, in Syria to get rid of Assad. So, what better way? What better way to get a bunch of these groups together and to put them right in Syria, right at the back door of Israel?
Yes.
But these are not. We're not talking about freedom fighters for the sake of humanity. We're talking about an evolving Sunni Shia war that's going to take place. Some very real wartime issues are coming forward. And it looks like through the assemblage of these folks there, it's really about to begin and go to a brand new level.
I thought ISIS was gone. I mean, what's going on there?
Nope. What the story is unfolding, first of all, people in the USA, they receive rhetoric, stories, sometimes made up stories. This overthrow in Syria is not something that happened, it didn't start, a week ago. It's been ongoing for a long time. NATO has had operatives in Syria for some time, right? And what they were doing was they were negotiating things to get the oil and to transport that oil to Iraq. Ding, 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 as their safekeeping of the oil, to get it all to Iraq. Now, when they moved a fairly large set of shipments out, this happens, right? So what they're doing is they're resettling the Middle East piece by piece. This is a NATO operation, NATO's plan, but as it always does, it will backfire, right? They're going to give every people a nation in the Middle East, but here's a problem. Both Sunni and Shia are onto it. They're already onto it. They're very good at playing dumb. We have utilized them, right? Knowing who they are, giving them incentives to go and get Bashar al-Assad. But now that they have accomplished this, by the way, and it was too quick. How long have they been fighting?
Forever. I mean, 14, actually, it was 2011 when Obama and Hillary Clinton said they destabilized the Middle East. Remember, they got rid of the leaders of Tunisia and then Egypt and then Libya and Yemen, and then it went to Syria, and then the thing went crazy, and Russia jumped in and said, "Whoa, what? Just hold it a minute. That you're not taking Assad out." And then there's been 13 years this has gone on. And then in 3 days, it's over?
There you go.
This was done by the NATO group without Trump's approval because he's not in power yet. Biden's even claiming credit for it. And it's all about Israel.
Yeah. Biden is still, that administration is still making or doing things. They're still.
But let this, and then let all these militant groups come in from all over the world and start to build up. And the threat on Israel will be worse than it's ever been, worse than Hamas, worse than Hezbollah. Is there going to be terrorist activity really pick up here in America in the next couple of years, do you think?
Pastor Paul, I think it's going to happen almost immediately. You better believe Iran is going to have access to other nations' nuclear weapons. I give that not more than 4 weeks from now.
Really?
It's somewhere in that time frame, they're going to have control of nuclear weapons outside of their own country, like the heavens, right? Nobody's talking about the heavens right now, save for two penetrating objects that came through and did an aerial glow, right?
Yes.
But no one's talking about the heavens. No one. They're going to start talking about the heavens the end of this week. You watch and see, because it's also waking up. And they don't report on anything until they can expect something that the people can see. They know people are nervous. They're trying to keep this calm demeanor in folks right now, right? They want everybody to be just docile, relaxed,
right? Not
on guard, not watching. Unfortunately, that's going to be broken. When everybody has a problem with these things, then what?
Then
it's kind of like it's kind of like the insurance companies. When people, after these storms this year, they said, "Hey, I need, insurance from weather on my home." And they said, "Well, you can't get that. You have to go to FEMA."
Right.
We don't offer it anymore. And you know what? I did echo that they're going to go broke. These insurance companies are going to go broke because these storms are not slowing down.
Yeah, you did.
Right?
You did.
And in these FEMA bases, do you know what's in there?
No. Tell me what's in these FEMA.
You know what they're stocking up on?
What?
Tornado shelters.
So you're saying they're building FEMA bases for not
everywhere,
not FEMA camps, FEMA bases.
FEMA bases, yes.
Because of war, because of tornadoes and hurricanes and war.
Yep. Because in them you see these red. They're red. They're tornado shelters. Tornado shelters are what they are. Oh, and vegetation is growing in the North Pole because recent imagery from the North Pole, they will not. In fact, if you look at any map of the North Pole, it's a lie. It's one of the biggest lies you could ever see. And no, I'm not referring to an ice wall. That's not what I'm referring to. How are we going to look? Because you know and I know there's some desperate people. I mean, they're desperate now. They say that if Trump completes the inauguration, the world is over. This is in their minds. We're not talking about a couple hundred people either. We're talking about millions of people are saying this.
I know,
Pastor Paul, that if he completes the inauguration, the world is over. Yeah. They're convinced that this stuff that's happening in the world is because of him. Right? They're convinced of this.
It's just right? They're looking at, you know how we always look at normally when president goes in the United States, there's the first 100 days, and you look to see what all that new government's going to accomplish. This is so different. We're in a 77-day period from an election day to inauguration day. This is the most unbelievable 77-day period in the history of the world on before a president even takes office.
Yep. But the time we're not paying attention or can't pay attention to the Middle East, I'm telling you now, they're going to act. Iran right now is looking for a window to get us. Russia is looking for a window to get us, right?
Yes.
These nations are looking for their opportunity to strike us, just like a serpent. They already see us. They're just ready to strike, and they need the right opportunity. And if we go weak at it, because in prophecy, nobody halted Israel from being trampled underfoot 40 and 2 months. Nobody halted that. And if nobody halted that, what in the world happened to the USA that we were not able for 3.5 years? We could not liberate Israel for 3.5 years?